Why smart people stay in toxic relationships. Why is it that the most brilliant people we know, the high-achieving architects, the meticulous financial auditors, and the visionary project managers, are often the exact same people who stay in the most destructive relationships? You would think that a high IQ and a sharp analytical mind would serve as a natural defense against manipulation. But today on Yankee Psyche, we are going to reveal a chilling psychological truth. Your intelligence isn't a shield. It is often the very tool a predator uses to keep you trapped. Most people watching this believe they are too self-aware to be gaslit. They believe they are too logical to fall for the narcissistic love cycle. But today's deep dive, based on a series of viral Reddit confessions, performs a psychological autopsy on the architecture of betrayal. We are going to break down the why behind the human behavior that leads a person of great substance to dismantle their own life for someone who has none. Stick with us until the very end, because we aren't just telling a story. We are going to expose the 5 invisible psychological traps that paralyze smart minds, and we will show you the exact moment the karma finally arrived to collect its debt. If you have ever looked at your own life and wondered how someone so smart could make decisions so terrible, this video is the mirror you have been waiting for. Welcome to Yankee Psyche, where real stories meet deep psychological insight. We don't just tell stories, we break down the why behind human behavior, from shocking Reddit confessions to emotional relationship drama and workplace betrayals. Every story we analyze is designed to uncover the hidden patterns of the human mind, because behind every action there is a reason. To understand why smart people stay in toxic loops, we must look at our first case study, the story of Claire. Claire was a senior research scientist, a woman whose entire life was dedicated to logic, data, and evidence. Yet, for 6 years she lived in a state of total psychological subjection to a partner who contributed nothing but chaos. This is a classic example of the narcissistic love cycle. The descent didn't happen overnight. It started with what we call love bombing for information. In the beginning, Claire's partner Simon didn't just shower her with affection. He showered her with intellectual validation. He made her feel that he was the only person who truly understood the depth of her mind. He created an artificial soulmate connection that served as the foundation for the coming betrayal. Once the foundation was laid, the architecture of betrayal began. Simon began to introduce the first psychological anchor, the sunk cost fallacy. In the world of high achievers, quitting is seen as a failure. Claire had invested 3 years, her primary social circle, and a significant portion of her savings into building a life with Simon. When the red flags began to appear, the guiltless infidelity and the subtle workplace envy, Claire's analytical mind didn't tell her to leave. Instead, it told her to solve the problem. She viewed the relationship as a failing project that simply needed more data, more effort, and more resources to succeed. This is why smart people stay. They believe that there is no problem their intellect cannot fix. The second trap is what we call rationalized abuse. Because smart people are good at seeing multiple perspectives, they often use that gift to empathize with their abuser. When Simon would ghost her for days or sabotage her professional reputation, Claire would use her knowledge of psychology to create excuses for him. She would tell herself he was traumatized or misunderstood. She used her intelligence to build a sophisticated cage for herself, rationalizing away the evidence of her own destruction. At Yankee Psyche, we see this pattern constantly. The more imaginative the victim, the more elaborate the excuses they can create for the predator. The third trap is the family scapegoat dynamic, which often mirrors the toxic relationship loop. To keep Claire isolated, Simon convinced her that her successful colleagues and her supportive parents were actually jealous of her. He turned her into a scapegoat in her own social circle, cutting off the external mirrors she needed to see the truth. When you are isolated, your reality is defined entirely by the person standing next to you. You begin to accept the unacceptable because there is no one left to tell you that the floor is on fire. But every narrative on this channel reaches a tipping point where the hidden patterns are exposed. For Claire, the moment of truth came through a shocking confession hidden in plain sight. She was working on a high-level grant proposal when she realized that Simon had been borrowing her research notes to feed information to a rival firm. He wasn't just a toxic partner, he was a workplace saboteur, who was effectively selling her intellectual property to fund his own guiltless lifestyle. He had destroyed her reputation in the scientific community while she was busy forgiving the cheater and trying to save the relationship. He had built his empire using her bricks, and he was ready to replace her the moment the payout was secured. But as we frequently see on this channel, karma hits hard. Claire was a scientist. She understood that while a lie can be complex, the truth is a physical constant. Once the narcissistic love cycle was broken, she didn't waste time on emotional storytelling. She used her meticulous record-keeping and her analytical mind to perform a total audit of their shared life. She didn't just leave, she performed a clinical extraction. She gathered the digital evidence of his corporate espionage and handed it directly to the authorities in the rival firm he had been courting. She didn't just reclaim her life, she dismantled his. The narrative retribution was swift. Simon, who had spent years acting without regret, suddenly found himself without a home, without a job, and without the golden goose he had been plucking for 6 years. He tried to use the "why narcissists always come back" pattern, attempting to hoover Claire back in with promises of change and appeals to their soulmate history. But Claire had achieved a level of psychological insight that rendered his tactics useless. She understood that behind every one of his actions there was a reason, and that reason was purely predatory. Claire's story is a haunting reminder that being smart doesn't mean you are immune to being played. In fact, it often means you are just better at hiding the truth from yourself. The life-changing decision to go no contact is often the hardest for the most intelligent people because it requires them to admit that they were wrong. It requires them to admit that their empathy was used as a leash and their loyalty was used as a weapon. Every video we create at Yankee Psyche is designed to make you think, question, and understand people on a deeper level. We want you to see the hidden patterns of the human mind before they cost you your career, your family, or your sanity. Whether it is workplace betrayal, family conflicts, or the psychology of guiltless infidelity, the signs are always there if you are brave enough to look at the data. Now, we have a very important task for you, and we want you to be completely honest in the comment section right now. This is a community built on real stories and deep psychological analysis. Have you ever been the smart person who stayed way too long in a toxic situation? Have you ever used your own intelligence to justify why someone was treating you like a family scapegoat or a professional stepping stone? Maybe you have witnessed a workplace betrayal, where a brilliant coworker stayed under a boss who stole their ideas for years. Or perhaps you are currently struggling with a relationship drama where you know the person doesn't love you, but you can't stop trying to solve the problem of them. Share your story below. Describe the moment of truth, that one specific event or realization that finally shattered the narcissistic love cycle for you. Your confession might be the life lesson someone else needs to hear today, to keep from losing themselves entirely. Your transparency might be the key that helps another smart person realize that walking away isn't a failure, it's the ultimate successful conclusion. We read every single comment because we believe that by sharing these real-life stories and applying deep psychological insight, we can uncover the hidden patterns that drive us all. When you share your experience, you are helping to rewrite the architecture of betrayal for everyone in this community. You are proving that there is life after the collapse, and that karma is a debt that always gets paid in full. If you value these real stories with deep psychological insight and the hard-hitting truths about human behavior, subscribe to Yankee Psyche right now. We are revealing the human mind, one story at a time. We tackle the shocking confessions, the workplace saboteurs, and the family conflicts that define our existence. Don't let your intelligence become your prison. Don't let your empathy become your exit strategy from reality. Stay analytical, stay strong, and remember, being smart means knowing when to stop trying to fix a foundation that was designed to crumble. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next deep dive into the human psyche. Remember, the truth always comes out eventually. Make sure you are the one standing in the light when it does.